This program is part of the Infinite Potato Alliance. Visit us at infinitepotato.com.
I'm Jared Stern. I think people should listen because we're desperate for attention right now.
I'm also Jared Stern. This is what I like to call an exercise in benign narcissism.
I am African Jared Stern, and you're listening to Between Two Sterns.
Yeah. All right.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
Hey. Holy crap. Again, you have no idea when we're recording this. If you're listening on a regular basis, we're sorry for the hiatus. If you're just now discovering this,
If you're listening,
You'll
hello.
never know.
If you're not listening, it didn't make a sound when it fell in the woods.
That's true.
And that's
yeah.
yeah.
But we have such a special episode
Do we
for you today.
do
After
give the
weeks-
context? Give the not nay weeks. Give the context for this.
years.
There it is.
Okay, so cast your minds back to the beginning, to the infancy of this show, when we were looking for what we considered at that point the Jared Stern.
Yes.
The other Jared Stern, writer-director Jared Stern.
We were looking for optimism. We were looking for a hope. It was a bleak period of time with almost the exact same circumstances as what are going on right now.
with no parallels to today. But yeah, so we, and in the hopes of finding that particular Jared Stern, we emailed Jared Stern at
is a
gmail.com.
strong use of the word we, and I appreciate
The
it.
royal we.
Jared did all of the work.
We as a unit
Mhm.
emailed Jared Stern at gmail.com in the hopes that he might have the magical Gmail account. Well, we got a response back way back when, 4 years ago, saying, nope, I'm not writer-director Jared Stern, but I am a Jared Stern who lives in South Africa.
Yes.
So that then became a new, like, kind of white whale for us.
Mhm.
And it's been, like I said, it's been 4 years. And I have been in contact with this guy throughout the 4 years, checking in every couple of months to see what's going on, see maybe we can get you on. And then he was going through some sort of hardship or illness or whatever. And he kind of like dropped off the radar for a while. Finally got back in touch with him, and we thought we'd be able to get him on the show for this season. And you may have heard in previous episodes when we were here recording in our brand new studio, say hi to the astronaut, waiting to potentially talk to him, only to get a disappointed email, a disappointing email, not necessarily disappointed.
I was disappointed at you.
Yes, it was disappointed in this particular direction, saying that he was either unable to make it or otherwise engaged. Anyway, so after
Mhm.
chasing this guy down,
Mhm.
I have official confirmation that he is appearing on this episode. Now, I am taking into account
In 16 minutes.
in 16 minutes. He is 7 o'clock p.m. his time, 12 noon our time.
Mhm.
I got official confirmation that he is going to be on the show. Now, this takes into account that perhaps this Jared Stern's
I
been
look
fucking
so
with me the
guilty.
entire time.
Let's go back 4 years ago
Please.
when it was our first idea to start gathering up other Jareds.
Well, we didn't even know how many there were.
True. But once the ball got rolling, I deeply regret not creating a fake Jared Stern that essentially trolled Jared over the years,
Mhm.
agreeing to come on, then not, then agreeing, then not. This could have been such a beautiful moment.
It could have been a great reveal. It could have been a great rug pull.
But it's not.
But it's not. It's
But
the
it's not.
actual thing. Now, I'm saying this now.
Mhm.
I got the confirmation. I have the email. I can show it to you. And the Zoom link has been sent to him. That's not to say shit can't fall apart at the very last minute. In true Jared Stern fashion.
I continue to draw this parallel where you have been married for many years.
Mhm.
Trying to get this Jared Stern on the podcast is the closest you've ever come to online dating, which is They said that they were going to be there, and
Yeah.
then they didn't show up, and then there was an excuse, and then like, I'm not saying that you were getting catfish, because it would be insane for a catfish to use our name as it, like, it just wouldn't make any
Is
sense.
it insane, or is it insane for two people who have the exact same name to be talking to other people with the exact same name over the course of 4 years?
Yes. Yes. I'm hopeful that this occurs. Here's my concern.
Yeah.
If this occurs, when this occurs,
Uh-huh.
what will you have left?
What do you mean?
Have you never like chased that goal, and then once you got it, you're like, oh no.
Do you understand that my life is just full of unaccomplished goals?
Well, that's the point.
That
What
is,
happens if you start accomplishing one?
I mean, tracking you down and doing this
Yeah.
has led to a lot more accomplishment over, if the unaccomplishment has been built up over the course of my life,
Right.
which is coming up on 50 years.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I think these last 4 years have given me much more of a sense of accomplishment, because we've done so much with so little.
But if there is no destination, if the journey is the destination,
If it's the Jared Sterns we've met along the way,
then I mean, this is a big one.
it is. This is one of the biggest, because, like I said, this started at the beginning of the show, pretty much.
This feels like it should have been the plot of director Jared Stern. It feels like it should have been easy to get
Right.
South African Jared Stern.
You would hope.
Like, oh, I know there's got 2 weeks. But this feels like 4 years we've been trying to get this director Jared Stern, and now he's here. And yeah,
I'm praying that he's interesting. I'm praying that he's a cool guy to talk to. We've been spoiled with the other Jared Sterns that we've had, in that they've all been relatively cool guys. Fun to talk to.
You know, it'd be really funny.
What would be really funny?
Is if it was director Jared Stern.
Oh God.
And we've just been, because here are the versions that aren't true, but would have been hilarious if they were true. What if his personal email was that?
Right.
But his professional email is how you've targeted him up until this point, and he just been fucking with you this whole time.
God, I'd be perfectly happy with either outcome.
Do you, on a scale of like, what percentage wise are you sure that you're not being messed with right now?
Percentage wise?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not entirely sure that I'm not being messed with.
Right. Okay.
I mean, there's a level of uncertainty.
Sure, as there should be. Knowing me, of course there should be.
Right. I mean, the fact that you've kind of teased the possibility, but in order for that to happen, you would have needed access to Jared Stern at Gmail.
Correct.
Which you don't have.
I don't have. But that's not to say that one of the many we've talked to up until this point wouldn't have had it as well.
I don't know. Well, listen,
how did South African get established? Like, when you were reading through, did he tell you that he was South African?
I can pull up the very first contact email that we have. Hang on, because
and do you have a picture of him or anything? Do you know what
I don't. All right. So this is his first ever response from 4/20/2021, 4 years ago. Hi, Jared Stern 2. I am not the screenwriter Jared Stern. Sorry to disappoint, but I do own the Holy Grail, jaredstern@gmail.com. I am the African Jared Stern from South Africa. I have listened to some of your episodes. They are hilarious, by the way.
You didn't have to add that part in.
Okay.
No,
that's fine. Well, he also tells us his birthday.
Let's not put that out.
We're not going to put that out there because we'll ask him. I am not a comedian, even though I think I am hilarious. My 15-month-old son agrees that I am hilarious, but my wife not so much. So he has a lot in common with us. Yeah. So that is the very first time we got proof of life.
So I just want to walk us through where we're at before we get into this episode.
Sure.
You have never seen a Facebook page.
No.
You've never seen an Instagram account.
Nope.
You've never seen a LinkedIn page.
I've seen multiple LinkedIn pages.
Is LinkedIn?
I don't know. Yeah. No, that's not true. I have found him. I found a Jared Stern from South Africa on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So I have technically seen it, but I haven't paid attention enough to the picture to be
Okay.
able to recognize it on site.
The only thing you know about him
Uh-huh.
is what has been emailed back and forth.
Yes.
He establishes all of his own date. There's no confirmation of anything.
I mean, I have to take him at his word, right?
And then each time we're about to meet up with him, there's some sort of last minute excuse. Oh, this happened.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Hard confirmations, and then like periods of ghosting afterwards.
Here's the thing, Jared. You have to understand that all the Jared Sterns that we've talked to,
Yeah.
save for writer-director Jared Stern, we are plucking from obscurity. They have no idea how interesting they are to us. And when they hear that a podcast is looking to book them as a guest, that gives us an air of legitimacy that maybe might give the other Jared Stern some pause, you know?
Right. It at first, without the knowledge and the visual that this podcast has been going for 100 and some odd episodes,
Sure,
we sound vaguely like a Nigerian prince.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if a podcast, and you don't know what level of professionalism any podcast has, there are a million of them. They're a dime a dozen. Literally, they are just what's going on. What's happening?
Just making sure.
Yes, the microphone is on. Isn't that nice?
It's important.
But you don't know what level of professionalism a podcast has. Like, you could be as like Smartless,
Right.
like those guys. They're getting paid millions of dollars to do their podcast. Or you could be us, man. Like scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Way to subtly throw us on the other side.
Well, we're certainly ain't getting
have
paid.
an astronaut.
Yes, we have graphic art behind us now, and I really think that lends some professionalism. But
I hear what you're saying. I think what I'm saying is, have you ever seen the show Catfish?
of course,
Stripping away the nuance of podcast, do you see the parallels between, like,
yeah, of course.
I'm just saying.
I know that we are one. We seem like a giant scam. That's why whenever I reach out to a Jared Stern, I have to
sure,
implore to them, we are not a scam.
Yeah.
This is not an identity theft scheme.
I would say the inverse more, which was this Jared Stern, while I don't believe is a scam, is also paralleling and mimicking all of the actions of a catfish.
Okay. Why are you checking your watch?
Because we have less than a minute.
That's great. Where on here is it going to say that someone is ringing in?
It's just gonna pop up.
It's just going to pop up. Great.
It's gonna pop up.
I-
If when
When?
it happens.
Oh, that's a great name for the episode. When
it happens.
when it happens. Yeah. Okay. All right. Are we?
We are
It's
at
12:01.
12:01.
Come on, man. Come on.
It's not me.
I know it's not you.
You don't know that, but I'm saying.
I do though. I know it's not you, and I know he's going to be hopping on momentarily. I have every confidence that this is actually going to happen, and that's my own fault. That's my own fault for being disappointed too easily.
Let's watch paint dry. Let's
Having,
just stare at the screen, stare at
having
ourselves.
faith in people, and having faith that this is something that people want to be a part of. In fact, because their name happens to also be Jared Stern.
Again, and I cannot stress enough that as soon as you strip the podcast element out of this is all online dating. I have confidence that she wants to show up, that this is something she wants to be a part of, that this is something that I have confidence in humanity, that this is occurring.
You have all the things set up correctly.
I have everything set up correctly.
All right. I'm telling you, he confirmed.
I know he confirmed.
He confirmed.
I got you.
Hi, Jared. Sorry, I am in. Is there anything I should prepare? And I said, nope. We just can't wait to finally meet you.
Once again, if you strip the podcast.
Yes, I know. I get it. I understand. We are a Jared Stern dating service.
90 Day Fiance.
You stop looking at your watch.
Have you ever been stood up on a date?
That's a great question. I don't recall. I've been ghosted by somebody after a date.
What was that? What was that like?
Well,
Like, what was-
we had a great, it was a great first date. At least I thought it was a great first date.
Mhm.
And then I went to follow up
Mhm.
on said date with a text message, and then never heard back.
Mhm.
And despite a couple different follow-ups after that, maybe this was bad form on my part.
Mhm.
But things seemed to go so well on that first date,
Yeah.
and then nothing.
Did
Absolutely
you-
nothing.
Did you follow up that night, or did you wait a day?
I think I waited a day.
Okay.
I think it was the next day.
Okay.
And then the day after that, and then the day after that.
How
And I think I
many-
may have seemed a little bit
How
needy at that
many
point.
follow-ups did you do?
I think more than I should have.
That's fair.
And no, and so I now looking back on it with hindsight being what it is, yeah, I probably didn't seem like the most with it person at the time. But yeah, no, and then I ran into her.
What?
Yeah, like about a month or so later, and I was like, "What the hell happened?"
Yeah.
And yeah, whatever. That's fine. That's
Wow.
in the past.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I want to know what happened at that point.
It was just very awkward.
Yeah.
It was
Where did
just
you run into her?
at a bar, where one of the establishments that hosted weekly poker,
Okay.
and yeah, she just happened because she lived in the Bethesda area.
Gotcha.
And so it was just kind of a complete coincidence.
Do you want to take this opportunity to share her social security number?
If only I had known her that well.
No. Yeah, that's awkward. The post date run-in is a rough one.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it wouldn't have been as rough if there had been absolutely any
Yeah.
contact
Yeah.
after the first date. Like, all she had to do was just say, "Hey, I had a really great time. Don't think this is going anywhere."
Sure.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Complete ghosting. Complete South African Jared Sterning. And now we're at 12:09.
Hmm. It's not me.
I know it's
I
not
swear
you.
it's not me.
I know it's not you.
But I have to add some levity to this. There
I
needs
know
to be
you
a
do.
foil
I
to
know. Yes, I understand.
your frustration that is permeating over you right now. In fact, I just want to make it clear that you're very much over the situation that happened 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This is all just, what is it? Not projection, disbursement, deflection. What was it when you transference of this situation back onto that situation?
Yeah, whatever. It's that is what it is, or that was what it was, and this currently is what it is.
Which is nothing.
Yeah, currently not.
Don't be mean.
I'm not.
That's mean.
It is.
It's not meant to be mean.
All right.
Just do a real nice, hey Jared,
We
hoping
are.
everything's okay. Let's assume the best.
We are awaiting.
So if something came up, just let
Your
us know. Give him enough of an out that he feels
Presence.
safe to respond if he's not going to do it.
Well, no, he's going to do it.
We are awaiting your presence.
Yes. Show the fuck up. Show the fuck up.
Sorry.
I'm not trying to be mean, he
I'm
confirmed.
aware.
He confirmed.
I know.
He confirmed and asked if he should have anything prepared.
Next time, tell him yes. You
Yeah, prepare yourself.
prepare a computer with internet connection
And a clock. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, or maybe he has daylight savings time. Maybe.
Where in South Africa does he live?
I don't fucking know.
What time is?
Oh, hang on. Oh, there you go. That's the problem. It's 6 p.m. here. Can I join in 20 minutes? I apologize. We recently. Yeah. Hang on. At daylight savings time.
Incredible.
That's hilarious.
the amount of this episode that's going to need to get cut out.
Yeah.
Once Jared responds, Jared's going to give a pretty hearty apology.
No, I apologize. We recently had daylight savings time, so we are an hour behind. Oh, goddamn. You know what? I've been hoping the legislation would go through that they would eliminate daylight savings time for a long time, and now this really just seals it. Fuck the farmers.
Farmers don't need it.
That's true.
I've already established on this podcast with you why daylight savings exists. I came into it with absolutely no data. You scoffed at me.
I did.
And even the comments agreed with me that no data is necessary to agree with this. And while we have 14 minutes until he's early for the podcast, I'll go ahead and explain it again, which is it's the pharmaceutical companies. Because daylight savings does not really help farmers that much at this point anymore. But what it does is it throws off our body's circadian rhythm. And when it's darker, during the darker months of the year, which is end of Q1 or end of Q4, beginning of Q1, this is where antidepressant soar. It's all pharmaceutical companies, and it's all designed to keep us depressed during their end of year Q4 and their beginning of year Q1.
Okay. He says, perfect, no problem. We'll join as soon as I can.
Wonderful. While we wait,
yes,
would you like to reflect a little bit on what happened and maybe give a heartfelt apology?
What?
No?
No. Based on the reality that we were experiencing, he was fucking ghosting us. Now that I'm aware that I was wrong about the timing, because it's been so long since we've been trying to get him on the fucking podcast that daylight savings time happened.
Right.
No, that's not a mistake. It is.
I just want to walk through this.
Please.
Prior to this, you had mentioned that you hadn't confirmed any of the times with him up until this point.
I did. No, I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. I confirmed. I said 12 our time, 7 o'clock your time.
This one.
Yes.
But not the ones prior.
Yes.
Okay.
That's when it always was. That's why we're recording on noon on a weekend.
But you had just said, like, it's my fault. I sent it. I didn't get that confirmation.
I didn't get the double confirmation. I had I'm interested in being there. I can do that. Right. Great. And then I was like, okay, just want to double confirm for today. He never responded to the double confirm. I sent him the Zoom anyway. I sent him the Zoom link anyway. We arrived anyway without the double confirmation, and only to find out he was sick that day. That's fine.
Right.
This time I got the confirmation.
Yeah.
It just did not occur to me that time is now being experienced differently in South Africa.
Yes.
That's all.
That's it.
And I there's no apology necessary. Now, had I been a dick on that reply, then yes. And I even apologized to him. I even said I apologize.
So I just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
Please.
If you had used the aggression that you were feeling
yes,
directly towards it, apology warranted.
Totally.
But because you only expressed that in the safe echo chamber of this publicly broadcasted podcast,
yes,
no apology is necessary. Okay.
It's not. This is not only is it a simple mistake, it's a fucking funny mistake.
It's a funny mistake. I'm waiting for you to be like, the only apology I owe is to myself. For not understanding how time works.
I understand how time works. It just did not occur to me that, hey, America does daylight savings time. Why doesn't South Africa?
Yeah. Oh, ooh, Jared Stern's in the waiting room. It's an AI version of me.
Oh, shush.
Hello?
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Jared Stern. It has been
finally
a 4-year sojourn. And we are so happy to finally make your acquaintance. How the hell are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm all good, actually. All good. Been on the beach today. Had a nice chill.
And refresh our listeners' memories. Where are you calling us from?
I'm in Cape Town.
Cape Town.
South Africa.
South Africa. There you go. All right. You are our, let's see, 4th international Jared Stern.
Okay.
5th. We've had 2 from Canada, if that counts.
Yeah.
1 from Australia.
Yeah.
1 who lives in China, but he's an expat.
Okay.
He just lives there. And now you. And this is
the African one. Okay.
The relief that Jared is feeling right now. I don't know if you've caught any of the episodes where I've made fun of Jared about this experience trying to get you on the podcast, but
a little bit. But...
as a man who's been married for so many years, this is the first time he's ever experienced online dating where somebody said that they were going to show up and then disappeared. And like, it's been... And then I started fucking with him and told him that it was me. I actually owned the account. And every time I planned on coming on, I just canceled on him with my phone underneath. So
no. I've been,
It is absolutely fine.
Yeah. Well, you are, I think you are, if I'm not mistaken, the first Jared Stern that he attempted to contact, not by you, but just by you have. Yeah. So we've interviewed like 13 Jared Sterns at this point. Every single one of them asks the exact same question. Do one of you own the holy grail of Gmail accounts? Do one of you own Jared Stern at Gmail? So,
yeah.
I mean, this seems like such a good question, but how did you get this? Did you just like pounce on it immediately?
I was just, I don't know, got lucky. Yeah. It was just very, very, sure. When was it? It was like 2006, 2007. But yeah, I was the first one there. And I'm willing to sell it if anyone wants to buy
it. I'm looking to move it.
For the right price.
I'll get you priced on it. We'll take a small broker's fee.
Yeah, well, I'll take any dollars at the moment. It's all good.
So, basic questions first. What do you do in South Africa?
Yeah, so a few things, but at the moment I actually work with my brother, and we've got like a youth marketing agency.
Oh, cool.
And we do like informational sort of upliftment in schools and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, we've just recently sort of working with the Department of Education. So yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Very cool, yeah.
We don't have one of those anymore, so I'm so happy to hear that there's a Jared Stern who actually is doing some good work with that.
We don't have an ambassador anymore as well. To America.
Jesus fucking. We'll have a bunch of questions about Elon later in the show. So how old are you?
I am 42.
42. Okay, cool. Another Jared Stern in their 40s. We've talked to a lot of young ones recently, so.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're also a September birthday.
Yeah. September 29th.
No.
I remember,
Yeah. All right. So
when are you again? I remember
September 24th.
24th.
September 16th. I am like 14 days older than you, something like that.
Yeah. That's so fucking strange.
Cool, yeah.
Anyway, so we've gotten all that out of the way. What is a typical day like for you?
Well, there's one other.
Okay.
So Jared Sterns tend to typically fall into one of two categories: either fully Jewish members of the tribe on Jared's side, half Jews, or mixed breeds like my own. Do you fall on one side of the spectrum?
I'm full. I'm on that side.
All right, fantastic.
All right.
No, it's actually Orthodox, but in South Africa, it's like 89% Orthodox. Yeah.
Wow.
Very conservative.
Did you have you been celebrating Purim?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not religious, but my family.
Did you say you grew up Orthodox?
Yeah, I grew up Orthodox.
Okay. All right. Cool. You're lapsed Orthodox. Okay. Yeah, I'm like my sister became ultra Orthodox, and we were both raised conservative, and I couldn't tell you when most Jewish holidays are. So, yeah. No,
I'm very much traditional Jewish. Not into the hectic stuff.
Yeah.
But,
so what does a typical day look like for you in South Africa? I know you mentioned in your emails that you were going into the bush Like what
Yeah.
what does that even mean?
Well, that's not that's not the average day.
Well,
That's sort
sure.
of a vacation. No, I mean the bush would be, yeah, sort of off the grid, but also like sort of safari, sort of game drives, all of that. But that's mainly up in sort of Johannesburg, up north, a
Okay.
lot of. So yeah, but that's not my typical day.
Well, what is your typical day like?
My typical, pretty normal. I sort of wake up, maybe go to gym a bit. I work in a like shared office, which is quite cool. Like I'm probably the only South African in there. It's like just a million Europeans sort of working
Oh,
sort of remotely. It's very cool. And yeah, then I sort of, yeah, not very exciting. I'll
Okay.
log it out at work, sort of come home, play with my kid. Pretty boring.
And
Probably,
and how old's your kid now? Because I know that when we first started talking to you, I think he was like
yeah.
15 months. So
Probably
now
not
he's
even
what,
born.
6?
I know, it's 5 now.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
very cool. Not easy, but yeah. And you guys, do you guys have kids?
No, I have a four-legged one, and that's
I also got one of
the
those.
cap on the responsibility I'm willing to take on.
Yeah, with the frequency by which I've been moving and rebooting my life over the past couple of years,
Yeah.
I have a cat. She handles everything I need, just from a companionship standpoint. We'll see. I have a niece and nephew in the area,
Yeah.
so that's good. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know if you've paid attention to what's going on in this country, but it's a little shaky right now as you're looking to kind of plan.
Yeah.
I need to know if I need to pick up and move immediately at any point. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, always welcome in South Africa.
Well, I mean, Jared brought it
Right.
up as a pivot.
Yeah.
The thing that's really unique about American culture is we're so uninformed and so stupid. And so a lot of what we think the world is based from an entertainment perspective. So I would argue to
Yeah.
say that the majority of people only know about South Africa from Blumhouse and anything he does and whatever Elon's doing. So obviously we know. Go on.
Also Lethal Weapon 2.
That's fair. Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. Of course.
So I guess my question is like, if we had exported Donald Trump and he was in some other country doing this stupid shit, I know we would be like, what the fuck is it? What does a community to South Africa think of Elon just kind of coming in and slowly taking over America? Like, is there a conversation about it?
No, it's also, I mean, it's divided here in
Yeah.
terms of like American politics, sort of. I mean, obviously, I think it's a lot more left-leaning, but there's quite a strong, but yeah, I don't know. Elon, I think yeah, I think he's just something the world's never seen. And yeah, I don't know what your guys' thoughts on him.
I feel like if I was in South Africa, like if it was reversed, I'd be like, thank God it's not us. Like if this shit's gonna happen, like at least it's not happening here. And I think it's like the whole Elon model feels a lot like the high roller at a poker, like a high roller.
Sorry, my kid's running.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh,
Well, do you want to say hello?
they want to say hi?
Go on, where are you?
Hello.
Hello. What's he
Say
got?
hello. Their name's Austin.
Is that a Pumbaa?
That's your Pumbaa. Do you have a pet Pumbaa?
That's cool.
Adorable.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think to a certain extent, when we look at it's kind of like like somebody who comes in with way too much money to like a casual poker game.
Yeah.
Like you have a game with your buddies who all are throwing in $5 for a fun game. Somebody rolls in with a couple thousand and just starts going all in on the pot. Like there's really very little you can do when you're competing with that amount of money. It's just at this point, we're all just kind of waiting for the whole thing to collapse. If I'm
No, he's a. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really, I don't think, like South Africa that much.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a very good experience here. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's, well, not, I mean, well, him then, he's very misinformed about what's going on in South Africa. I mean, there are a lot of problems, but a lot of this that he's, well, sort of through Trump and all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just, I don't know where it comes from, sort of in terms of, I mean, the sort of land laws have changed, but I think there is a very small part of it that they're focusing on. And yeah, I think they're not stealing. There's no land taking at the moment or anything like that. I mean, obviously, there's always a risk,
Yeah.
but at the moment, I mean, yeah, I don't see it. I haven't heard about it. But I guess Trump's got a lot of South Africans in his ear.
He's got a lot of people in his ear speaking all kinds of languages. And
sorry, my speaker just went off there for a sec.
Here you go. Can you hear us?
Sorry, I'm just going to put in my earphones.
No problem.
He can't hear us.
Sorry, is that
All right.
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
All good now? Cool.
Yeah, all good.
Speaking about having people in your ear.
So one of the other questions we ask people Jared Stearns is, have you ever had any aspirations to do anything in entertainment? As to it's more of a curiosity.
No, I'm very much like this. This for me, it took me 5 years to come on. Yes, so no. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm very much sort of analytical, not sort of out there, very inward. I don't know what the average Jared Stern is, but I'm probably on the line.
Well, you know what? We've spoken to enough of them to kind of build an average. We actually, I mean, you've handled most of the data and the plot points.
I would say, grand majority of Jared's, actually all of Jared's are somewhat giving in many ways. Everyone finds themselves in industries that want to help and support other people. And it seems odd that like you would equate like the medical research field with like accounting, but in its own way, everyone has an underlining like positive morality. We've yet to really run into like an asshole Jared Stern. And as we joke, to be fair, you are coming on to the conversation. This is not the time to start like
you wanted to be an asshole, you could, but
I can be
everyone has a quality of self-deprecation, even within your emails. We like noted that, like that's and then again, the data really shows that all of us fall kind of split mix, which is like half in the full Jewish, many in like my camp of like
the sort of in between. And
but it's been a pretty even spread, our age and slightly older to much younger. I mean, like the youngest we've spoken to like was either in college or just graduated from college.
There's definitely a gap. There's what I call the Subway sandwich guy gap, which was all of that shit came out. Not a lot of Jareds were being like, but like
a lot of adults.
The name's gotten a little bit more popular. Is all we're trying to say.
I think it definitely went. It was, and then but most people are you Jared?
Yeah, that's the only
most. Okay. No, in South Africa they're like
we don't
5-6 different ways.
We don't let anybody who spells it wrong on the show. You have to have
I agree.
Exact name.
Jared's very particular about this. Like we are only interviewing people who have our identical.
It's Jared Stern, not Gerard Stern. Not there's no silent
and second names,
no apostrophes. No, get the fuck out of here with that.
So sorry. Also, a lot of Jareds are slightly neurotic.
I'm there.
There's a little bit of OCD there.
Do you have a middle name?
Clive.
Clive.
Not my.
I have never. All right, you're the first. You're the first Jared Stern with a Clive. You're the first Jared Clive Stern.
So as we walk through this and as you prepare, there will come a moment where you're going to have to name yourself, because when we did the 100th episode, we got everybody back on. We'll probably do something again for like that. But like you can imagine how complicated this email chain is, where everyone has Jared Stern and Jared Stern. So everybody has kind of like their name, like a la American Ninja Warriors. So there's like techie Jared Stern, Canadian Jared Stern. So
I mean, very technically, the one for you is going to be South African Jared Stern. You need to claim the entire continent. I mean, come on.
No, African Jared.
There you go, African Jared Stern.
Because
that's
full African.
We have two Canadian Jared Sterns. So the first Canadian Jared Stern hopped on that shit, and then we had the other Canadian Jared Stern come up with something else. So
not happy about that.
might be your 51st state.
So I have a question for you. Cast your mind back 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You hear from me.
Yes.
What is the thought that runs through your head when you find out that this exists?
I thought it was hilarious. I started listening, but yeah, I wanted to come on. I always wanted to come on, actually get that experience. But as I said, I'm not that type of person. So you
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
eventually got me to,
Not everyone is predisposed to putting themselves out there like that. And
yeah.
if you are, and that's what we kind of struggle with finding other Jared Stern, is that we have a certain, innate performer's mindset.
Yes.
So, and we're very there's a mild tinge of narcissism. So we take ourselves very, we think we're a pretty big deal. We're not, but most other
Jared Stern will yeah.
I also think that like as the podcast has expanded, it's gained legitimacy but like I joked with him when he was first reaching out to people, I was like, we sound like a scam.
Yeah.
We sound like we're targeting people. And we'll get 20 episodes, 25 episodes under our belt. Yeah. Now we're in like our hundreds. Like it's like, okay, well, this clearly this long con to get me, African Jared Stern, get my likeness. This is a long con. So
I just have you ever had Jared Stern on?
Jared,
because there's a Jared Stern, which is not mine.
At gmail.com?
At Gmail, yeah, at gmail.com, because I get all the emails.
You know what? I think when you mentioned that before, I think I tried reaching out to that particular Jared Stern. So that email is out there. I don't think he's replied back.
Okay. Someone in Arizona, I know that.
Okay.
I get his medical marijuana emails all the time and all his. I know more about him.
Found your next whale, Jared.
There you go.
Gotta track down Jared.
There are two.
And I must actually, so.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, well, I've also, I don't know if I've sort of scraped all the Jared Sterns on one of those scraping websites. So I don't know if you've seen it. There are probably about 20 different Jared Sterns that I can send you.
Okay.
But obviously to
I'll
try
take
build
that
it.
list. Because basically what I do is I just plug my name into Facebook, into LinkedIn or whatever, and I just see the list of people that come up. I think I found you on LinkedIn, but I don't know how active you are on there.
Nah, I'm not.
And I just on that. And where I can message people, that's where I just kind of try to get my in. We just stumbled on. You're a happy accident.
I remember when Jared first started explaining this to me, and he's like, and I'm not getting any responses. And I was like, so you're just putting your name into these sites and sliding it.
Yes. I was like, how else do you want me to do it?
We sound like a Nigerian prince trying to ask for your help.
Only one of us here could qualify as a Nigerian prince.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any questions for us?
Yep. This is.
I'm going to put one caveat on that. There's just one question that you cannot ask, and that is how we met. Because we've already answered that question a billion times over.
I think I've heard that in one of the past ones. Sure. Putting me on the spot here. Yeah.
Is there anything about the other Jared Sterns as well? Similar question to what you had earlier. We've met them.
Yeah.
Through the magic of editing, it doesn't matter how long you take to answer to ask
because one of us forgot about daylight savings. We've been sitting here for 45 minutes waiting for you. So it's,
sorry about
you
that.
must have thought there's no chance.
It's going to be a great edit when you see the peak of frustration and then realization on his face when he's like, "Oh, what daylight's." Hold on.
But yeah, I actually don't know. You've got me like,
that's fine.
What do people usually give me into?
The most common question we get asked is how we met. drives Jared crazy.
Yeah.
I was answering the same thing over and over.
I mean, it's
No, but I know that from I've watched some.
We've gotten a lot of like similar question to one you've already asked, which is like, what are the other Jareds like?
Yeah,
they're all like everybody's a super good dude. I mean, the 100th episode
Yeah.
was really a great time. If you want to like see everyone, like
Yeah.
everyone showed up, so we have like the Zoom boxes. It's like the Brady Bunch up there with everybody up there. We'll do
that's
another
awesome.
gathering
That's
of
awesome.
everyone at another milestone. But I think it's cool. I think everyone one of the big questions everyone ends up asking each other is, did you have a nickname? Because Jared is such
Yeah.
a difficul name to nickname. Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's
like
true.
Jared doesn't have a hard consonant and Jay just seems so generic.
Yeah,
Did you have a nickname
Ja,
based off
yeah.
of the name growing up?
Mine was Terry for some reason. It's got no real connection to Jared, but Terry.
Harry.
Yeah.
You-
I actually can't tell you why. My wife actually thought my name was Terry for like the first 3 months that she knew me.
was she just hard of hearing?
So
Because I remember when
I think they
I
used to call you Terry because you were a terrorist, so that
it's a terrorist, man. I don't know. Terror.
hell of a thing for Terry to be short for.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
strong competitor to overtake African Jared Stern.
Great. Yeah,
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use terrorist Jared Stern. I'm going to have to
I don't-
bleep
I
that
don't
part
think-
out anyway as well.
yeah. Well, for you, we're
Yeah.
gonna end up on a list. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah, what else? I mean, what do you guys, I mean, what's your perception of South Africa? Like, other than animals running around, or, I mean,
well, that's a good thing that you mentioned that, because how many times have you run into the animals that are running around? Because I know Australian Jared Stern mentioned, because everything in Australia is bred to kill you,
Right.
and
yeah.
but
No,
I'm
yeah,
curious
but-
because people go to Africa for safari, and
Yeah.
obviously South Africa is maybe more metropolitan. Cape Town is anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how often do you encounter those animals on a
Well,
day-to-day basis?
No, I mean, none of the sort of big ones, but baboons, actually. There are quite a lot of baboons running around. They come down from the mountains and they're sort of.
And are they a menace,
Like,
or
that's-
like how do like
Yeah, in some parts, very much so. They'll sort of jump into the houses and steal the food, and
oh God.
they're quite, I mean, they can be quite scary, but yeah. Other than that, dogs and cats. No, I mean, it's very
Dogs,
much.
cats,
But if you
baboons,
do, I mean,
the,
we used to
the huge.
Yeah, baboons. Yeah, sorry. But no, we used to live in Johannesburg, so we were quite close there to like the bush and to all the sort of safari places and all of that. So, I mean, that was awesome. Almost every weekend we would try go out and
So
yeah.
when you
that's yes.
when you're out in the bush, when you're out camping, is that
Yeah.
essentially like a mini safari?
Yeah, well, there you can go obviously to like the private game farms and all of that. Obviously there you're taken care of. They take you to everything. They sort of know where everything is. But then there are also quite a few parks where you just get in your car and you drive. I mean, you don't camp because you probably get eaten.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I mean, there are like lodges and stuff inside, and you just drive. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So what is the
Yeah,
most
that's,
exotic? What is the most exotic animal you've encountered?
Sure. I mean, the best sort of encounter we had was we were coming out of the park one night and there were about 20 lions just blocking the road.
Oh, that's
It
great.
was absolute, I mean, it was incredible. But I think the scariest thing I've ever experienced was my wife and I were driving in the park and there was this like lone male elephant that sort of was coming towards us, and this thing started like going at us and spitting and screaming. So we literally just sat there, and for about 5 minutes, we just sat there shaking, and this thing came and it like knocked the car,
Oh, God.
went round. And we luckily I mean, if you don't turn your car off, that thing will probably sit on your car. And so luckily we heard that, but so we got away from that, and then literally down the road, his like brother was there, and it's the exact same thing. And since then, we found out they had to get rid of those elephants because there are quite a few cases of them like ramming cars but yeah, otherwise it's pretty safe.
This is This is actually amazing that you've made it to this point to get on this podcast, because I think you're probably the Jared Stern with the greatest chance of being eaten.
It's true.
Yeah.
If there's a continuum of Jared Sterns who've had a chance to be eaten in their lives, you've got that. You're at the top of that list.
Yeah. But it's awesome. But I mean, yeah, Cape Town, yeah, you wouldn't know you were sort of in Africa in those terms. It's very, very sort of, as you say, metropolitan. Yeah, very different.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Even to the rest of South Africa, it's sort of, yeah.
Jared, it has been
made for it, born for it.
I cannot tell you how happy we finally made this connection.
This running joke. I'm so excited to have met you. I'm gonna be disappointed to see this running joke. And I can't wait for you to see this episode. It's an emotional journey. I'm not gonna lie to you. The daylight savings thing.
I'm excited to see
I
it.
hope you are excited for this peak and valley of what you're about
I
to.
can't wait. It's like I got that message and I was like, no, this isn't my fault. It's happened for once. And I can only imagine there's no ways you believe I'm going.
Yeah, no. This is totally on me. This is on the United States in general. Okay?
Yeah.
And because
like
it's
most things that
Jared really does want to take the opportunity to apologize to you because of it.
I don't know if Jared Stern generally are very stubborn and very hard-headed, but
yeah. This one is anyway. But seriously though, it has been an absolute pleasure, and you're welcome back on the show whenever you'd
100%.
like. You're now part of the family, and
right.
stay tuned. We're like we mentioned, episode 150 is on the immediate horizon.
Try and get everybody back.
So we're gonna try and get people back on for that. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah.
Pleasure,
Jared.
man.
Take
Talk to you
care.
soon.
Great. Cool. Nice to meet you guys eventually. Cheers. Cheers.
Okay, happy now.
I am.
Record the next one.
Oh, good God.
It's recording right there. Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking your ears between two sterns.
Please leave us a 5-star review, even if it's a sarcastic one.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Have an idea for the show, or are you also Jared Stern?
Shoot us an email. You can find links to everything at jaredstern.com.